I want to share with you a message entitled, In the Weeds. It is a fact. Evil will exist, evil will persist, and the weeds will grow among the wheat. It is not in the nature of evil to stand off idly and watch God plant good things in your life, in my life, in this church, in our community, or in our world without throwing weeds into the mix. Without throwing things to try to stunt or mess up the growth of God's wheat. Life, the world, and even the church is full of Satan's weeds, thistles, and thorns. But the presence of those weeds, listen to me, whatever those weeds represent, the presence of those weeds should not affect the growth of the wheat. It should grow in spite of what is in our midst, because what is in our midst does not change who God is or what God can do. Let us not forget that God is not weak and He does not quiver the sound of Satan's feet coming down the stairs. I am amazed at how the workings of evil come with a magnifying glass, but rather how the works of God always seem to come with a telescope. And what I mean by that, how we always seem to magnify whatever the devil is doing and we minimize what God is doing. And I've got news for you today, my friends. Whatever the devil is doing does not affect what God is going to do. Good things still grow in a bad world. Wheat still grows in the midst of weeds. God can still do unbelievable things in difficult times. You do not need evil to stop doing bad stuff. You just need to make your life more conducive to God doing good stuff. The goal is not to stop evil, but it is to produce more of God in ourselves and in our life, or those things we have control over. Our problem is not the presence of evil. Our problem is the absence of God. Even if you were to get rid of all the evils in the world would still be messed up. Do you understand that? Because there's people in it. And the devil still exists. The devil, evil forces will always be present in this world, but we grow and prosper in spite of it. John chapter 16 and verse number 33, Jesus spoke these powerful truths to us. These things I have spoken to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. Have we forgotten that? That in spite of the tribulation, in spite of the world, in spite of the devil, in spite of every evil thing, we still overcome. Jesus still overcame. He set the precedent. Now we should follow it. You don't need a perfect environment, a perfect life, or a perfect situation to grow for Jesus. We don't need a perfect situation. We don't need a perfect life. We don't need a perfect world. It's never existed from the beginning of time. The devil was even in the Garden of Eden, newsflash. The stars don't have to align for God to do good things in your life today. He overcome the world, friend. Wheat grows in spite of tares. And the wheat should overcome the weeds. Matthew chapter 13 and verse 30. Let them both grow what? What's that word? Together until the harvest. Until the end. Let them grow together, the weeds and the wheat, the good and the evil, the righteous and the unrighteous, the devil's kids and God's kids. Let it all grow up together. In the end will separate them. Wheat growing in the midst of weeds. wheat still thrives in the midst of tares, thistles, thorns, and evil. It's not what we need the forces of evil to stop doing that matters. What matters is what we start letting God do. God has been doing great things in the lives of people who have been in difficult or evil circumstances for a long, long time.